Welcome to TRK Studio, where timeless homes meet cozy elegance. Explore romantic cottage charm, vintage details, and rustic beauty. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts. A cozy English cottage reading corner styled in soft green hues with vintage rustic accents, distressed wooden shelves filled with antique books, wicker baskets for storage, a small round side table in weathered oak holding a porcelain teacup, and brass lamp floral pattern cushions placed on a deep green armchair, linen curtains framing a leaded glass window, delicate ivy trailing along the windowsill, creating a warm, nostalgic retreat with natural charm and comfort. Romantic cottage interior featuring a green-painted wooden paneled wall with subtle rustic, distressing a vintage floral upholstered armchair nestled beside an aged stone fireplace, shelves lined with brass candle holders, and weathered books, woven rugs in soft earth tones scattered across, wide oak plank flooring trailing ivy, cascading from a clay pot, natural light filtering through lace curtains highlighting timeless textures of linen, faded wood, and vintage ceramic decor in a serene countryside atmosphere. A quaint English cottage library corner with sage green walls, rustic wooden beams, overhead vintage wrought iron sconces casting warm candlelight, a rustic ladder leaning against shelves of aged books, antique ceramic vases placed atop sideboards, floral embroidered cushions on a high-backed chair, cozy wool throws draped casually across, seating dried lavender bunches hanging near a small mullioned window, capturing romantic elegance balanced with countryside coziness framed by timeless English decor and inviting detail. A rustic cottage retreat centered on an emerald green velvet armchair, surrounded by distressed wooden tables stacked with vintage leather-bound books, soft linen curtains in pale cream filtering daylight, laced doilies beneath antique teaware, brass lanterns casting subtle glow, ivy climbing up a textured stone wall, handwoven woolen rugs anchoring the space, baskets of dried herbs tucked in corners creating a layered composition blending romantic English warmth with vintage rustic character in perfect balance. English cottage reading nook with moss green tones, rustic open shelves displaying ceramic pitchers and antique jars, faded floral wallpaper adding delicate charm, aged oak floorboards with hand-woven jute rugs, vintage wooden trunk doubling as a side table, candles and brass holders flickering gently, cozy armchair draped in a tartan wool blanket, lace curtains allowing soft dappled light through a leaded window, while ivy and trailing plants enhance timeless pastoral elegance with countryside serenity and comfort. Romantic cottage atmosphere framed by sage green shiplap walls, rustic beams overhead supporting wrought iron lanterns, weathered sideboard displaying antique porcelain, delicate lace runner, floral patterned cushions tucked into a high-backed wooden chair, aged brass clock centered above shelves filled with leather-bound novels, faded tapestry rug across warm oak flooring, dried hydrangeas arranged in a rustic ceramic urn windowsill with ivy curling into the room creating timeless beauty layered with pastoral coziness. Cottage reading nook layered with forest green tones, rustic bookshelves with visible wood grain, hand-carved side table holding porcelain teapot, vintage candelabra, and tarnished brass lace curtains softly billowing against leaded glass window, aged floral armchair upholstered with muted roses, baskets of wool yarn stacked nearby, wide plank flooring covered by woven rugs trailing ivy and potted herbs adding natural touches, while rustic wall sconces illuminate this warm romantic corner with subtle English countryside character. An inviting English cottage corner featuring rustic distressed green cabinetry, aged stone wall as backdrop, shelves lined with vintage glass jars, woven baskets filled with books, antique brass lantern, glowing warmly, plush cushions in soft floral tones stacked along a window seat, with lace curtains trailing, ivy spilling from clay pots, textured wool rug covering the oak floor, candlelight flickering across patinated mirrors, layering timeless cozy details, blending rustic authenticity with refined romantic English cottage elegance. Charming cottage reading space with deep green velvet sofa, rustic carved wooden coffee table covered with lace doily, brass oil lamp casting golden light, faded floral wallpaper with subtle cracks, aged oak beams, overhead handwoven rug with soft earth tones, ivy climbing across mullioned window, vintage ceramic bowls arranged neatly on shelves. We'll throw casually draped over seating, layered rustic details weaving romance and countryside comfort into an elegant English-inspired sanctuary with nostalgia character. Romantic English cottage nook styled with soft sage green tones, rustic shelves stacked with antique books, lace curtains opening onto a garden view, aged wooden rocking chair with embroidered cushion, brass candlestick holders reflecting warm glow, handwoven jute rug covering uneven oak flooring, ivy curling through small window basket filled with dried lavender linen cloths draped over tables, rustic ceramic vase holding fresh wildflowers, timeless pastoral elegance creating comfort and romance through layered vintage countryside charm. A cozy cottage alcove wrapped in green floral wallpaper, rustic oak paneling beneath weathered shelves lined with pottery and books, lace-draped window opening onto ivy garden, distressed wooden bench topped with cushions and muted green and rose hand-knit blanket folded nearby, brass lantern sitting on a side stool, woven jute rug grounding the space, candlelight casting soft shadows highlighting timeless romantic details, creating serene reading retreat layered with rustic countryside textures and English charm. English cottage reading retreat with olive green tones, rustic carved sideboard topped with ceramic pitchers, lace runner, antique brass candelabras, soft floral upholstery on a plush armchair, linen curtains framing mullioned window, ivy cascading from clay pots, wooden trunk used as a table stacked with books, handwoven wool rug beneath candlelight reflecting warmly on patinated mirrors, textured walls blending stone and plaster creating depth and character through timeless rustic romantic English design details. Romantic cottage interior featuring moss green painted cabinetry, distressed wooden shelves with antique teaware, floral pattern armchair placed near leaded window, lace curtains diffusing daylight, ivy spilling gently from clay pots, aged oak floorboards covered with jute rug, brass lantern resting on rustic side table, basket of dried herbs tucked in corner, delicate embroidered linens draped along sideboard creating harmonious composition, weaving rustic countryside textures into timeless, cozy English cottage charm with layered elegance and tranquility. Quaint English cottage corner framed by sage green beadboard walls, rustic beams, overhead brass wall sconces, aged patina, antique oak tables centered with porcelain vase of wildflowers, distressed shelves lined with weathered books, lace curtains fluttering across a mullioned window, ivy trailing along sill, wool rug in muted tones grounding worn armchair upholstered in floral pattern, candlelight reflecting warmly throughout space, combining rustic vintage charm with romantic English countryside comfort and layered timeless elegance. Cottage reading nook layered with forest green painted woodwork, rustic fireplace with aged stone surround, distressed wooden mantel topped with antique ceramic vases, lace runner, soft candlelight flickering woven basket filled with wool yarn, floral pattern cushions stacked on upholstered chair, handwoven rug spread across oak floor, ivy climbing from clay pots, brass lantern placed at corner. Window framed with lace capturing pastoral serenity through rustic textures, romantic elegance and timeless English countryside detail. Romantic English cottage alcove with muted green wallpaper, faded floral design, rustic oak beams exposed above shelves stacked with leather-bound books, embroidered cushion resting on carved wooden chair, lace curtains revealing garden ivy spilling inward, vintage ceramic pitcher placed on weathered table, brass lantern casting glow, wool rug covering plank floor, dried herbs hanging from wall hooks layering natural textures, timeless countryside warmth, and elegant rustic detail for a serene nostalgic reading retreat. An enchanting cottage reading space, painted in soft sage green, rustic shelves laden with pottery and aged books, lace curtains on a mullioned window, ivy trailing from clay pots, distressed oak flooring softened with handwoven rug, antique wooden chest doubling as side table, floral embroidered cushions scattered on seating, brass lanterns glowing warmly, candles flickering against weathered mirrors, dried lavender arranged in ceramic urn creating layered textures, romantic countryside charm, and timeless English cozy rustic detail. Thank you for watching TRK Studio's journey into romantic English cottage coziness. Stay inspired by elegant rustic design. Subscribe, like, and comment below to keep the conversation blooming.